How's everyone doing tonight? See, I got one person in here. Everybody hear me okay? Hey, Chris. Good evening. Glad you can hear me. I'm sure everybody else is dealing with the hot weather. I was doing some motor grader training today up in Watertown, and it was 99 degrees with a humidity of 75%, and it was pretty dang miserable up there. I'm not gonna lie. How you doing, Matt? Good to see you. Yeah, I can about imagine it's probably not much better down there in Missouri where you're at. Yeah, Chris, my air for the most part keeps up pretty good. I can't complain. These new machines, even with the amount of glass that's in them, I know I was working Wednesday there in my M3, and it was just about 100 degrees, and I still had my AC fan on the lowest setting, and it wasn't even all the way cold yet. So it's pretty crazy. Hey, Eric. Glad to hear you like the videos and watch them a lot up in Ontario. Okay. Yeah, I can take and try to get some videos. What are you trying to talk about? Like when I lose my maintenance window going into winter, or is that what you're kind of asking here? Well, Eric, as far as keeping a, oh yeah, well, Eric, I can definitely do a video. I did one last fall, kind of how to get my roads in shape for winter with my deer machine. If you go back, you should be able to find that in my videos. And then, as far as keeping your edges straight, I don't run a traditional steel edge. I run carbides on everything, so I don't have a problem with them staying straight. Put it that way. Jason, that's pretty cool. You're in the Philippines. That's pretty awesome. And Brandon, as far as using float on gravel in the wintertime, I do not. Pretty much the only time I've ever used float is I got a short section of road that goes up over the interstate, and I will kick it into float on that. But as far as anything on gravel, I just, keep it an inch or so off the gravel surface and kind of run it that way. Okay, you're running carbide bits. Yeah, I really like them. I got them on one M3, and I'm actually just going to be putting my double carbides on here, and then I'll be finishing out the rest of the year and then through the winter with them. And yeah, I'll definitely try to get some videos up this fall of kind of getting roads in shape going into winter here. And yeah, you're right. Pulling in can be, fairly easy if the road's in good shape. How many miles of roads am I responsible for, Chris? I think the last time I added it all up, I'm right around 300 and some miles. And I would say a good share of 200 of them see right around 300 to 400 cars a day. So very well traveled roads. Mark, good to see you. I just missed your comment. I just see it now here. Down in Texas, I'm sure it's nice and toasty down there, I imagine. Brian, I am going on 21 years of operating a blade, and I just turned 31 this last May. So, yes, I started very young at this. Absolutely love it. Wouldn't do anything in the world other than running a blade. Well, I've been called a pro, but I'm not going to have that big of a head. I learn something new just about every day. Uh, Way I figure is the day that you quit learning something, it's time to quit. Hey, JB. Brandon, I guess, to me, you could probably get by running stinger bits all year long. I know the guys up in Canada run them all year long, and you could probably do it just fine. Um, to me, that's what you're always going to have a straight blade with them. I probably would rather have that versus go back to a traditional steel and then have, a crowned out edge all the time. That's more important. The reason that I take my stinger bits off, I probably should have had them off a couple weeks ago, but we're starting to go into that real dry period. And I really don't want to cut into them roads any more than I have to. I just want to kind of lightly maintain them, cut out the bad spots if I have to. That's kind of why I switch and go to my regular carbides, this time of year and then, to finish out the year. If that makes any sense. Chris, I prefer playing in the gravel over the snow. Uh, I kind of chuckle. I know I'm only 31, but in all honesty, probably the first two snow plowings are kind of fun, to get back out there, and then after that, it can warm up and I can go back to blade and gravel because trying to take care of 3 townships in the winter and everybody wants out right now and a lot of complainers and it's just blading. I can just go do my thing and nobody's really on you. So a little bit more enjoyable. And you can kind of do it on your own hours. Where snow plowing, I'd say probably 90% of my time I'm out between 5 in the evening till a lot of times noon the next day. So it's all overnight work and gets to be a little challenging. Okay, JB. Yeah, I kind of do the same thing you do. If you got a good road bed that's packed good and hard, you really don't want to tear it up. Especially this time of year when it gets dry. Brian, conventional grader or joystick grader? Well, I learned on conventional. Still run one. Don't have any problems with it. But if you're talking about, being relaxed and being able to work 12, 13-hour day and not be completely shot, physically and mentally at the end of the day, joysticks any day of the week. Brandon, 300 miles, the 5 townships that I got. Lately, I've been working about 12 to 13-hour days. I can get all 5 of my townships done in about a week and a half. So generally, I can get two, 2.5, almost 3 in a week. So you can make pretty good time as long as the roads are in decent shape. I just really like on Brian, like the M's that I run. You can sit back in the seat. You don't have to lean forward. The joysticks are easy to use. Everything's right out in front of you. You're just that much more relaxed in that machine versus, regular rack machine or conventional controls. No, we're sitting pretty good on gravel around my area. We're very fortunate. I actually, the furthest gravel pit in all my townships away is literally like 6 miles. So I'm very lucky to have a lot of good pits that close. And yeah, it's kind of nice to have that option. Someday it's probably going to get a little scarce. Luckily, we got an area about 25, 30 miles north of here that's got a lot of gravel in it. And it's barely been touched. So someday, it's probably going to be a little bit further of a haul, but, at least we got access to that. And yeah, I'm the only blade guy for those 5 townships. I do have one other guy that helps me in the wintertime if I need him. Otherwise, I pretty much take care of everything. Kind of a one-man show, but I don't mind it. I'm pretty dang particular who runs my equipment, in all honesty. Yeah, Chris, we try to get a new machine every 6, 7 years. I got 2 new 150s coming sometime next summer, so looking forward to that. And yes, I do have quite a bit of say when it comes to what's being ordered. The couple townships that I do, they realize that they want to keep me happy. And quite frankly, if I want to run one machine over the other, they're going to listen to me and they're going to buy what I want. And I really hasn't been that impressed with the 2020 772 GP that I got. And it was between Deer and Cat on this last deal. And not going to lie, Deer was probably 30,000 cheaper. But I told the board, in my honest opinion, you're going to spend a lot more on fuel in the Deer. And I didn't think I was going to be quite as efficient. Plus, I'd much rather stay with the cat. And they took and ordered me what I wanted. So can't go wrong with that, right? Yeah, I guess I haven't heard of that one, JB, on the on the cat. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of a pain in the ass when you have that fuel tank in the way on that stuff. But no, after last winter, plowing all that snow we had, from spending 10 hours in the deer and then 10 hours in the cat, you just, there's no comparison in the lugging power and then even fuel consumption. I was doing tests for the township, and in my deer blade, I wasn't getting as much done in a 10-hour day as what I was in my cat, and I burned twice the fuel. So, you take $3.50 fuel, that adds up in a hurry. And no, that was not on eco. That was on just the normal power. Brandon Bryan, my dad, he taught me everything I know. And my dad run blade, up till 2019 when he passed away. And he run blade 45 years of his life. So he was pretty well rounded, I would say. Very grateful for him to teach me. He actually had his own business. We had two blades. We had a 140H and a 140G, and I helped him. He started me when I was a freshman in high school, and yeah. Brian, how long until I retire? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever retire, be honest with you. I love doing what I do quite a bit. Uh, I foresee myself operating probably well into my 60s for sure. My dad was 66 when he quit, and I just really enjoy doing it. And as long as I can do it, I'll probably keep on doing it. Brandon is 14-foot moldboard, wrong size to blade with. Well, that really depends on how wide your roads are. Like for me, all my roads are 22 to 24 foot wide, so 14 isn't enough. That's why I run 16 on everything. So, yeah, you can take and blade a 22, 24 foot road with 14-foot moldboard, but you're going to be making three passes, and it's just a lot of messing around when, you add a 2 foot extension and you're just that much more efficient. John Deere's have a recall on in the axle? Really? Well, that's interesting that you say that because on my machine that 2020 I got, the transmission seal between the axle failed, and then the rear main seal failed on it, and then the tandem seals have failed. Just a lot of seals. I've had a lot of trouble with that machine. For only having just about 2,000 hours on it now, I just don't think you should be having that kind of trouble. Brian, I'm normally in a blade by 6:37 in the morning at the very latest. I try getting up around 5 every morning, and I like to be to work early. A lot of times I got 10, 11 hours in by 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm a morning person. I like to get out there and beat the traffic, and that way, 5, 6 o'clock rolls around. If I want to be done, I can be done. I don't always quit then. Sometimes I end up working till 7, 8 o'clock because I just want to get something done and I don't go home. Yeah, Brandon, I can do that. I can do a video on how to get the wheel tracks out of the road for you. Yes, JB, mine does have grade control on all of my machines that I operate. I have played around with it a little bit. I kind of got a mixed feelings on it, put it that way. It's nice when it works, but you definitely have to have it in calibration all the time is the problem that I come up with. And in all honesty, the Deere machines, they probably have the better grade control right now. I've heard that the new 150 is a lot more user friendly and is easier to calibrate. So definitely going to be doing some tests on them. What are your thoughts on York raking on rocky gravel? Oh, you mean like rock raking? Yeah, if you get a lot of big stones, I definitely wouldn't be against it. It probably would help get rid of some of them. Worst experience I've ever had as a grader operator. Well, that is a tough one. I've had some pretty shitty days, I can tell you that. Probably the worst one I've had is I was helping a friend of my dad's that had a same kind of construction business, did townships, and I was lucky enough to spend 2 days in a 770 BH, and that is the biggest hunk of shit that I've ever operated in my life. The second it got over 80 degrees, it overheated all the time. The hydraulics were atrocious. And quite frankly, I think I would have rather had an old 12 cat, knuckle buster. That was probably one of my worst experiences, I would say. Had some pretty crappy people to work with over the years. Some supervisors, not lately though, but I've had some in the past that they're the experts and you're just a dumbass. That's all I need to say on that. Ain't got much time for that. I don't claim to know everything, but when you run a blade 20 plus years, it kind of speaks for itself. Right now, Tom, I am running a Diamond brand packer. They do not make them anymore, and it's a good packer. I like it. If I was to go out and buy a new one of my choice, I would definitely buy a walk and roll, hands down. In my honest opinion, I think they're the best on the market when it comes to uh, the best design, in my opinion. And as far as like down pressure on that, I literally can lift the back end of my machine up if I want to, but I figure that packer probably weighs right around 3,000 pounds, and I take and put a fair amount of pressure on it. I don't know really what kind of pressure I'm getting, but you can definitely feel yourself kind of lift up off the ground. So I assume there's pretty substantial weight back there on it. Another good topic I just thought of is a lot of you guys run blades. What's the most random thing you found out on the road? I found some pretty interesting stuff before. Brian, where are you at? And there wasn't very many packers around this area. Now that there's 4 or 5 townships that have them, I think they're really seeing the benefit from them, and they're really starting to get popular. There's, I think, 2 more townships now in just my local area that they've seen what I can do with mine in the right conditions, and they're ordering new packers too with their new machines. So I think it's slowly catching on. It's just they are a pretty hefty investment, but you really think about it. You take a 30,000, $35,000 investment, and you take a life of a packer. You take care of it. There's really no reason why that thing shouldn't last, a good 20 plus years. Brian, I did not play many video games when I was a kid. I played with a lot of Tonka trucks, to be honest with you. Cell phone, flashlights, and one gun. Well, that had to be interesting to find a gun. Haven't found a cell phone, found a couple flashlights. Trying to think what else I found. Found a lot of tools, a lot of wrenches, a lot of random stuff. Yes, Tom, I do take and pump up my back tires on my blade that I got the packer on. I run 50 psi in them. No, okay. Brian, unfortunately, I have found a body before. That was kind of an interesting day, needless to say. Yeah, Brian, I guess I never really picked up on playing video games when I was a kid, and it really wasn't much of a challenge for me to get onto the M. In the first probably month or so, I had a pretty good handle of it. I absolutely love it now. Oh, okay, gun range. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that'd be kind of shitty to have your gun go missing. Yeah, Brian, I think it's really tough for the older generation. The funny thing is, before my dad passed away, the last couple of years, he helped me a little bit. He was 66, and I stuck him in an M, never run one before, and he picked it up within a couple days, and he was right on to it. So it's really a mind game. They don't want to switch from that antler rack, which I don't blame them. I mean, it works, but uh, once you switch, you'll never go back. I can tell you that. Oh, Brian, awesome. Yeah, that front retriever is very nice to have. And you're welcome. Glad that the videos kind of helped prove your point. That's kind of the whole reason I started this is I know a lot of guys find this information helpful, and hopefully the right people watch it and they can take and learn some stuff, and even some supervisors, if they see this stuff, hey, we can try this, or just putting new ideas out there. Honestly, Tom, I've never rotated tires on a blade before. Like I said, we only keep them 6, 7 years. So, a lot of times we don't even end up having to put in a set of tires on them. We can get 6, 7 years on a set of tires, and then we get another new machine. So I really don't have to worry about it. As far as what do I tell people when they complain about my maintenance windrow, honestly, I just explain to them the benefits of it. And a lot of times it just goes right over their head. I'd say probably 90% of the time they're bitching about the little one that I left in front of their driveway. And I just tell them, I said, hey, if it bothers you that bad, take a loader and back drag it into your driveway or rake it, whatever makes them happy. Yeah, and Brian Brooks, that I did find a body one day out Blayton. I do have one township pretty close to one of the bigger cities here, the bigger town that I'm close to, and sounded like it was a, drug deal gone bad type of deal. And they took this guy, tied him up to a electric pole, and shot him. And I was the lucky one to find him, unfortunately. So never know what you're going to find out in the country, I guess. And yeah, I do. Brian Quinn, I got a 2020 772 GP that I run with the fingertip controls. I don't mind them controls. They get the job done. Yeah, Lee boy, yeah, you're 100% right about that. Everyone always knows your job better than you do. That's very true. I try to be cordial with everybody, try to explain, what I'm trying to do and whatnot. And I just give them the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes they'll listen, sometimes they just call you dumb shit, and then you don't waste any more time with them. Cody, technically, I'm not my own boss, but I kind of set my own schedule. I set my own hours. I kind of work when I want to. I do have, supervisors in every township. I got three of them, but I'll be honest with you, the 5 townships I have, if I talk to maybe 2 supervisors every couple months, that's about it. I see them at a meeting to get paid. They got a question, they call me. Brian, I got 2 cats with joystick. I got the fingertip, and then I have one cat 140 with the antler rack. And as far as the deer controls, I would definitely go with the fingertip. I tried the deer joysticks, and I'm just not a fan. I couldn't get onto that. My deer dealer, they gave me one for a week, and I just really struggled with that. It's not very user friendly in my opinion. And lately, right now, on one machine doing one township, I'm right around 650 to 700 hours a year on it. Ever hit a deer while blading? Now, I haven't hit one while blading, but I've hit one plowing snow before. That was interesting. I was driving down the highway, uh, going to my next gravel stretch to plow, and I took and speared him with the nose of the V plow. So yeah, I had a nice doe on the front nose for a little while. And Tom, I have run finish blade for blacktop paving. It's been probably 3, 4 years ago, and it's fun to do something different like that. Lee boy, that's funny. Yeah, I definitely struggle with the deer. It just, growing up with cat, I've given them the benefit of the doubt. I try them. They make a great blade, but it's not for me. And as far as miles go, if you add up all 3 townships, I'm responsible for right around 300 miles, and I take and do all the mowing and the blading and plowing snow. And I don't haul any of my own gravel per se. We contract that out from a private contractor, so I don't have to do any of the hauling gravel. So, and I don't mind that. I really don't want to drive a truck if I don't have to. And yeah, JB, I suppose if you're probably working for like a county, now, yeah, that's definitely not unheard of to have a machine with 4,500 hours on it. I'm just only doing one township with one machine, so you figure about 40 miles roughly for one machine. So, even if you blade 3 times a week at, 20 hours, you're only putting 60 hours every month, or, 3 times a month blade, and you're only putting 60 hours a month. So they don't add up super fast anyway. Now that you have a disc, how do I convince them for something different for the front? Oh yeah, besides V plow. Well, it took me a long time to convince a couple of my boards to try a reversible like what I got on that 140M3. Honestly, I will try to get some good videos of that this winter for you and kind of explain, the benefits over the V plow, and then you can show that to them. And honestly, you take and, show show them my videos of what my roads look like with that roller. And, just take and get some testimonials from guys that run them. They'll all say about the same thing. Yeah, Lee boy, I definitely agree with you on that one. I can drive truck, but I definitely don't want to do it unless I'm the only one there to do it. And Brian, what happens if I call in sick? Well, they're kind of shit out of luck. I got literally two guys that are kind of my backup if I go on vacation, but otherwise, I'm the only guy around here that covers my area. Okay, you do about 80. Yeah, that's about right, JB. It's not a bad week for you. Well, if people are complaining that the roads are rough and whatnot, Packer's definitely gonna eliminate a lot of that, especially if you got some good surfacing gravel. I got some roads now that we put some good 3/4 surfacing on, and I laid them out. That last video I did on how to lay down gravel, I uh, I haven't bladed them yet, and that's been just about 2 months ago, and I probably won't touch them till this fall, in all honesty. So having the packer makes a huge difference on how long your roads last, and makes them look a lot nicer. Tom, as far as how many yards per mile do I like to lay out? I honestly don't do much in yards, but we do everything by the ton here. But let me look at my little sheet. So we put down 3 inches on a 22-foot top, and that is just about 1,900 tons. So yeah, we do 1,900 tons a mile. And a belly dump at 25 tons and 1,900 is 69 feet for a belly dump. So right around 75 loads a mile. Okay, Brian, 300 ton a mile. Yeah, you're probably putting down. Well, yeah, you're probably less than an inch then, so not a lot. You're like 400 feet for 25 ton. Holy shit! Yeah, you're probably only getting about a half inch then. And no, I'm not working for a contractor. I used to work for a contractor. I used to help a guy out when he needed me. That's where I did the finish blade and did quite a bit of dozer work and blade work for him. Yeah, JB, I would say I am pretty lucky to get that kind of material to work with. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Lee boy. It really depends on the width of the road too. And I have used boom cutters before, a couple of diamond ones. I actually had one a couple years ago. I wanted to do videos in the worst way, but it was all new technology. I actually have a supervisor that used to be an engineer at Diamond, and he brought out one of their new boom mowers. And needless to say, that thing was pretty badass. Oh, wow. Yeah, if you only got 30 miles per blade, that's actually pretty reasonable. Around here, most counties, they figure about right around 70 miles a blade, sometimes closer to 100. So, but yeah, if you take 30 miles a guide, that's actually probably what it should be. I break for bedrock. Glad you enjoyed the channel. Thanks for watching. Oh, okay. You self haul your stuff. Tom, yes, I see a huge benefit when it comes to having a packer on the back, being able to seal everything up. In all honesty, I really don't have any dislikes on it, other than the fact that it gets a little bit long back there. That's probably the only downside to it. Oh, okay, I got you. 70 miles per blade. Yeah, that makes sense. No, as far as finish grading goes, it's, really everybody makes it out to be really difficult, but in all honesty, I find that some of the easiest work I've ever done. It's just, you go off of stakes and hubs. Yeah, you got to be able to see it, your eye for it. And you got to be pretty good on a blade, but for me, that was pretty easy work. The year that I did quite a bit of that, it was fun. And now with the GPS, it's relatively easy, so I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'd want to do it every day. Okay, you do a lot of service roads. Oh, for the forest. Okay. Brian, that bushing that goes through on your cat wing with the arm that attaches to. I'm trying to think what bushing you're talking about. You're talking about on the lift arm or the one that's on the back? Oh, okay, on the lift arm. My new wing that has a. God, I'm trying to think. There is a solid bolt through there. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to do that. That doesn't make much sense. If they must have put a the wrong size bolt in there, because I don't have any slop on mine. That's kind of weird. Yeah, Tom. Whenever I do any like major dirt work for ditching and whatnot, I do go back to regular steel blades, and I actually drop my 2 foot extension, and I'll go down to 14 foot, and then just run regular steel for cleaning ditches and doing backslope and whatnot. Oh, okay, it had a bushing in there. Well, then I'd say it needs to be replaced, I would say. I'd say your shop foreman's full of shit, because if that bolt's in there just rattling back and forth with especially if it's wearing the threads off, that's definitely not the way that was supposed to be designed. How have we stayed out of jail? Well, that's a good question. we get to deal with some pretty shitty stuff, I would say. Okay, yeah, take and do that. I'd like to look at that. Because I can take and send you pictures the way mine is, too. That ain't that big a deal. You know, Brian, it's funny you say that. I was doing a half mile of back sloping last fall, and I was going along, and all of a sudden I look down and I see spaghetti everywhere. And what I'm talking about spaghetti is about a 8-inch coil of fiber optic wires that I had sliced through. And I about shit my pants. I go, oh God, that's going to be expensive. And I called in locates and everything and didn't have any flags, no paint markings, no nothing on the ground. And I'm like, oh shit, what's going on here? So I called the call before you dig number and told them the damage and whatever. And they sent a guy out. Thank goodness it was an abandoned line, but yeah, you definitely kind of start sweating when you slice through one of them babies. Because the technician that came out to check that out to make sure it wasn't doing anything, he said, yeah, if you would have actually cut a live one, he says, every hour that's down, it's a $10,000 fine. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay, Brian, you're running a 140M too? Yeah, those were good machines. No, that it definitely doesn't take them very long to get there when you cut open a big fiber like that. Oh, God, Brian, yeah, that'd be pretty miserable if you find out all the time. Okay, you run 10,000 hours. Yeah, that's a good amount of hours, but you know, a lot of these machines are very capable of hitting that number of hours. The big thing in my townships, you know, they run that 6, 7 year timeline. You know, they put probably at the most 4,000 hours on a machine. Yeah, their biggest thing is you know they want to keep everything under warranty. That way they have a fixed, you know, number of maintenance cost, and you know they can budget for that. That's kind of the reason that they stay, you know, in that 6 year area. They don't want to buy another joystick machine, huh? Well, that'd be pretty shitty. I think I would definitely push for another joystick machine if you can get them to do it. Honestly, I've never had any trouble with DEF on any of my machines not pumping back into the tank. Oh, you have all deer. Well, that's unfortunate. That might be a losing battle there. Right now on oil changes, um, the one township with the 16 140M3, I dropped that at 250 hours. And then my other M3, that's a 17, the township has a service contract with my dealer. So they come out and do all the scheduled maintenance and whatnot that the book says. So they oil sample at 250 and then they drop the engine oil at 500. And I've honestly heard that Like my new 150, they recommend that you can go out to 1,000 hours on an oil change, which I think that's just crazy. What's the largest blade I've ran, Tom? Honestly, the biggest blade I've been in is a 163H. And yeah, it's kind of the biggest one I've been in. I think it'd be fun to take and play around with like a 16 or a 14. I have a dream someday I kind of want to play around with a 24M, so might have to go to a mine for that. Hit you with a $2,500 oil change? Holy cow. $2,500 every 500 hours. Holy cow. Yeah, I don't blame you. I think I would do that too. I would probably be doing my own maintenance. Yeah, I agree with you. Oil and filters are pretty cheap insurance, especially when you're running up to 10,000 hours. Generally, they like my townships, back to that, they're trading every 6, 7 years. And if that's what the book is recommending, that's what they do. But yeah, if it was my own personal machine, I don't care what the book could say. I'd probably be dropping the oil at 250 hours and just be done with it. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go get a water here quick. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, in all honesty, I don't know what my local cat dealer charges for to come out to do like a PM1 or whatever they call it for basic oil change and whatnot. But the one township, they took and signed a service contract, so it was all figured in and some contract. I don't know how expensive it is or whatever, but that's what they do anyway. And I will tell you this, guys. I'm going to type my email in here. And if you guys ever want to take and email me some pictures of stuff or work, or you got a question or whatever, feel free to do that. I'm going to take and include that in here in the chat for you guys. And Tom, all honesty, I would definitely rather have the stingers. The sharks do a nice job, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like having to rotate edges that much to keep them straight. And there's just too many consumables with that shark system. You know, you're seems like you're always replacing wedges and then those pins that hold the wedges, and I just I don't know, not a huge fan of it. Easier to blade sand or gravel? Well, I would think it'd be a lot easier to blade gravel than sand. Sand would be, well, that'd be the shits because it just stay loose all the time. Yeah, it's definitely hot enough for me out there today. I was up to Watertown doing some motor grader training today, and I think I got up to 99 with about 75% humidity, so it was pretty miserable out there. I try not to complain about the heat too much because, in all reality, in 5 months, it's going to be frickin' probably another 50 degrees cooler. So I don't mind a little bit of heat, but 100's getting a little nasty. Yikes, 105? Oof, that's getting pretty bad. Okay, you got 6 miles of sandy beach roads. Oh boy. Yeah, it doesn't sound like fun at all. Yeah, I can believe that. I'd probably be cussing too. That'd be pretty frustrating to have to deal with that. Thankfully, I haven't had to work with much sand around here. We're pretty fortunate. We get pretty good surface gravel, and I've had some rocky material that I'm not a big fan of, but for the most part, we get pretty good gravel to work with in my area here. Jason, yes, I still blade when it's dry. It's kind of a touchy subject. As far as like my roads that I got really good surface gravel on and they're tightly bound, I do not blade them whatsoever when it's dry. A lot of times, the roads that I am blading, I'm blading the ones that got kind of shittier gravel on them and they washboard pretty quick. So I end up keep maintenance on them. And you're right on that. It's kind of counterproductive, but yeah, you got to keep your vegetation at bay and, keep your roads, in good shape. So I still blade when it's, a drier period, put it that way. Thanks. I'm definitely spoiled with the material I get to work with around here. And Tom, my typical road width out here is, I'd say, 22 to 24 foot. Yes, Cody, we definitely have soft spots out here. 2019 in particular was probably one of the shittiest years I've ever run a blade. Super soft roads. It didn't matter what you did. It rained a half inch every week. And I call that the year from hell. Sorry, guys, my damn allergies are bothering me tonight for some reason. Found a bunch of frickin' clover and shit today, so definitely makes the old allergies kick in. Okay, you got about 22-foot roads. Yeah, to me, there's probably no better width than 22, 24-foot top on a, rural gravel road. It's about ideal. Well, Tom, mud, that's in 2019. I was literally getting the blade stuck right in the middle of the road on some of my highly traveled roads, I would say. And it was just a nightmare. I actually had a 3 mile stretch that I had to maintain with our mowing tractor and a box blade because you literally couldn't get anything else on it. That was definitely a challenging year for everybody. So we've dug down. We've been in the mud probably close to 3 foot, and then you finally run out of it. But it's just gooey, icky crap, and it's just not ideal stuff to work with. Yeah, it was a challenging year. Yeah, I can believe that. It seems like we trade every other year, or every several years. Either somebody has it up north or we do down here. It really depends. I thought for sure with all the snow we had this last winter, and you know, I thought the roads were really going to blow up because 2019 was very similar. We had a decent amount of snow, and then take and get that kind of runoff and everything. I thought our roads were all going to blow up, but luckily didn't have that problem. Ever fall asleep while blading? No, I haven't had that problem. I've uh, I've been so tired before plowing snow that I pulled over and tried to take a nap, and never fails. Every time I try to take a nap, somebody comes and checks on me to see if I'm still alive. But the one night I did pull over, I shut all my lights off. Well, I forgot to shut my flashing light off. And the farmer, about a mile and a half away from where I was at, he seen my flashing light, and it was about midnight. And he seen it was in one area, so he decided to come check on me. And I had the seat reclined back, and he knocked on the door and kind of startled me a little bit. And I popped up, and he goes, "Oh, sorry to wake you up, but just coming to check on you." I said, "Oh, I appreciate it." I have not run stingers on icy roads during the winter yet. Um, God, I hope we don't have ice, put it that way. That's one thing that I absolutely hate. But now that I have the stingers, and if we would happen to get an ice storm or get a lot of hard pack on a road, I would definitely take and put my stingers on and cut it with it. I think it'd work pretty good. Yeah, that's for sure, Brian. It was he was disturbing a good power nap. Luckily, I had probably got a good 15 minutes of sleep in, so wasn't quite so bad. I'll take 15 minutes over nothing, put it that way. Yeah, I bet they do work good, Tom. I've always wanted a set of stingers, and now that I got them, I'll probably use them quite a bit. What kind of dust control we're using, Cody? We are currently using calcium chloride on the dust control we get from one of our suppliers. They have used Meg around here. Some guys like it. I really don't see the difference. The calcium, it's probably a little more corrosive, I would say, but I think it kind of sets the road up better, in my opinion. But that's just from what I've seen with it anyway. Nah, that's funny, Jason. How close are you in Minnesota over there? I could tell you could come to work for quite a few different counties pretty close by to me. Hell, I might even have you help me out if you're close enough. I'm starting to think I bought a different fishing boat. I should probably go fishing more versus work all the time. Be nice to have some help when I get super busy, I can tell you that much. What's the starting pay? Oh, I don't know. It depends on how good you are. Depends on if I got to babysit you or fix your fuck ups. That's going to depend a lot. We got a pretty awesome governor over here, that's for sure. Okay, you're by Albert Lee. Yeah, I was actually just over camping in Waterville area this last week in Minnesota. Okay, got lots of family in Sioux Falls. Yeah, well, I'm really close to Sioux Falls here, so well, 15 plus years. Well, you should be all right then. Tom, where are you at? You up in North Dakota or Northeast South Dakota? Yeah, that there is. I unfortunately didn't get to take the boat up there, but we uh, we just went camping and did a little sightseeing with the Stillwater, so that was fun to go check out. Okay, you're out in Vermont. You're a little ways away then. Yeah, there's a ton of nice lakes around that Waterville area. I think we're probably going to go up that way next year again, so definitely going to try to bring the boat. Yeah, Tom, I've always played in the South Dakota area here. I started out. My dad, he had his own business. He had 6 townships that he did, and then he had 2 blades. So grew up doing that, and then obviously when I got good enough to kind of go out on my own, we had 6 townships, which really wasn't enough for 2 of us to keep us busy. So he kind of had me go out on my own and start working for a few townships. And now I have 5 of my own that I take care of. I don't own any equipment, but keep myself plenty busy anyway, and the pay is pretty decent, so can't complain. Yeah, Lee boy, you're definitely right on that. 2019 definitely separated the good guy or the boys from the men in the blading world. You really had to know what was going on. Hey Cody, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to go again in 2026 out at the Con Expo. I had a lot of fun out there. It's definitely quite the show to see. If I do go again, I'm gonna try to go another extra day. That way you don't have to try to get quite as much ground covered in a day and a half. Put it that way. Well, I suppose, guys, it's 9:30 here, and well, 5 o'clock comes early. So if anybody's got any other questions, take and put them out in the chat quick here. But if not, I think I'm gonna sign off here for tonight and take and get to sleep. But it was good visiting with everybody. Thanks for stopping in and chatting it up. I really enjoy this. It's fun seeing where everybody's from and what we're dealing with. And it's kind of nice for a bunch of blade operators to get together and swap ideas back and forth and all the stuff we go through and kind of like mind. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah, you're welcome, Brian. I'll definitely get some rest. Well, you guys all have a good night and hoping to get another couple more videos out here towards the end of July, and then in August here I'll have a little more free time to get some good videos coming for you guys. But with that, I'll take and catch everybody on the next live stream or next video, and we'll take and catch you guys later. We'll see ya. Oh, no kidding, Jason. Well, I'll take you up on that. You got my email there. Shoot me an email, and next time we're in the area, I'll look you up. Okay, Cody. Yeah, take and send me some pictures of that on through Instagram there. Be cool to see that. But we'll catch everybody later.